Plato was born in 427 to 428 BCE on his primarily hometown in Athens, Greece. Aristocles his real birth name. He has 3 brothers and 1 sister. His father's name is Ariston of Athens, but he died when he was young, and his mother's name is Pericton. He was raised during the Peloponnesian War of 432 to 404 BCE. He is a philosopher during 5th century BCE and student. Having been born into a socially elite family, Plato was allowed pursuit of his various opportunities. Plato was expected to pursue a career in politics, theater, and playwriting. This all changed one day, when he overheard Socrates was teaching in the market and abandoned his plans to pursue a literary career as a playwright. Not long after, Socrates was charged with failure to observe the Greek pantheon and corruption of the youth. As a result, Socrates was executed via poison in 399 BC. Plato left Athens to travel, visiting any places, before returning to his homeland to write his dialogues and set up the academy. His dialogues almost all feature Socrates as the main character. Around the age of 40, Plato went back to Athens and opened an educational center called the Academy. Plato's Academy, the ultimate ancestor of modern university. It is an academy that more informal society of intellectuals that shared a common interest in studying of particular subjects, including philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy. The first founder of the academy was Plato. Second is Arcesilaus. Carneades was the third. Fourth are Philo and Charmides, and fifth is Antiochus. But what are the contributions of Plato that we use and help us on some particular things? What are the achievements or accomplishments of Plato using only his intelligent and intellectual ability? Some contributions of Plato are: he was a leading mentor of mathematics of his time. He wrote numerous philosophical discussions which continue to be debated. He came up with the influential theories of forms. He came up with epistemology or theory of knowledge. His work, Republic, is regarded as a cornerstone of Western philosophy. Plato laid emphasis on education. Eudoxus of Cnidus, born in 395 to 390 BCE. Cnidus, Asia Minor. a mathematician and astronomer who substantially advanced proportion theory, contributed to the identification of constellations and thus to the development of observational astronomy in the Greek world, and established the first sophisticated geometrical model of celestial motion. Menaechmus, about 380 BC. He was a great mathematician who tutored Alexander the Great in the subject. He was the first to investigate the ellipse, parabola, and hyperbola as sections of a cone. Aristotle was born in 384 BC in Stagira in northern Greece. Both of his parents were members of traditional medical families, and his father, Nicomachus, served as court physician to King Amenthus III of Macedonia. His parents died while he was young, and he was likely raised at his family's home in Stagira. At age 17, he was sent to Athens to enroll in Plato's academy. He spent 20 years as a student and teacher at the school, emerging with both a great respect and a good deal of criticism for his teacher's theories. Within the academy, Aristotle always acknowledged a great debt to Plato. He took a large part of his philosophical agenda from Plato, and his teaching is more often a modification than a repudiation of Plato's doctrines. Already, however, Aristotle was beginning to distance himself from Plato's theory of forms or ideas. After Plato died, Aristotle left Athens and migrated to Assus, a city on the western coast of Anatolia. In present day, we called it Turkey. Later on, Aristotle was summoned by King Philip II to Macedonian capital at Pila to act as tutor to Philip, 13-year-old son, the future Alexander the Great. Aristotle returned to Athens in 335 BC. He couldn't own property, so he rented space in the Lyceum, a former wrestling school outside the city. Like Plato's academy, the Lyceum attracted students from throughout the Greek world and developed a curriculum centered on its founder teachings. In accordance with Aristotle's principle of surveying the writings of others as part of the philosophical process, the Lyceum assembled a collection of manuscripts that comprised one of the world's first Greek libraries. It was at the Lyceum that Aristotle was probably composed most of his approximately 200 works. Aristotle was the first who analyzed the formal logic and developed its grammar, notion of syllogism, reason rather than observation at the center of scientific effort. Some of Aristotle's contributions are the politics, the art of rhetoric, the ethics, the poetics, the physics, the metaphysics, Aristotle's psychology, and on the soul. The Organon is a set of writings that provide a logical toolkit for use in any philosophical or scientific investigation. The set of 6 books includes Categories, On Interpretation, Prior Analytics, Posterior Analytics, Topics, and On Sophistical Refutations. The Organon contains Aristotle's work on syllogisms, from the Greek syllogismos or conclusions, a form of reasoning in which a conclusion is drawn from 2 assumed premises. After the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BC, anti-Macedonian sentiment again forced Aristotle to flee Athens. He died a little north on the city in 322 of digestive complaint.